How do you have a right to a land which the land is not yours in the beginning? How does Britain allow the Jewish people to return to a promised land, the Palestinian land, when the land is owned by the Palestinians? When we read history and we see what the Nazis did, we say, how can people do that? How can they gas the Jews? How can they kill them like that? Are they not human? We see it today, how they did it. We're fighting animals. We're fighting terrorists. They killed civilians. We say we don't agree with the killing of civilians, but do you condemn the killing of 96% of people that are civilians in Palestine? Do you condemn them? Do you condemn them, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, all the news stations? Do you condemn them or do you not? Or do you like how they died? What's your name, bro?
Brennan.
Brennan, nice to meet you. My name's Khalid.
Good to meet you.
Like I said earlier, bro, we're just giving statistics today. We're informing the people what's going on. You take the information and you make up your own judgment. What do you know about Palestine, Israel? What's your, from your limited knowledge?
I've heard they're fighting again.
Of course, yes.
Something about that?
Yes. Do you know anything about the history? Do you know why they're fighting?
Nah, sorry.
Basically, the Palestinians were living in the land of Palestine for most of history.
Okay.
And in 1948, the state of Israel was created on the land of Palestine, based off of a promise that was given by the British, called the Balfour Declaration in 1917.
Okay.
It was promising the Jews a homeland in the land of Palestine. Okay? And since then, they've been committing atrocities against the Palestinians and killing slowly and taking land slowly. And this is all public information. But I just want to give you a couple statistics about the issue.
All right.
So since September 2000, out of 8,166 conflict-related deaths, 7,065 are Palestinian. That means 87% of the deaths were Palestinian. That means out of 15 people killed, 13 were killed. Hey, Dimitri, how are you? Dimitri, do you have time?
Yeah, just a few minutes. I have a meeting.
Yeah, if you can come in with our brother right here.
I'm with you.
Yeah, how are you, bro?
Well,
Long time no see.
Good.
Both of you guys. You know what's going on, Palestine, Israel.
of course I know.
What's your opinions?
I mean, I agree with.
Come close.
I hear, but I don't want to. It's dangerous to express opinions here.
Well, no, this is freedom of
In the US, no, of course.
freedom. U.S. gives the most freedom, more than Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
What do you know about Israel-Palestine, brother?
I know a lot.
Yeah. So, is it a two-sided conflict or is it one-side genocide?
One side genocide.
Oh, good. This is I like to see truth.
Genocide, where of course, UN resolutions repeatedly confirm, that Israel is the occupying side,
Yes.
right? And in fact, I believe that more or less they stated that Gaza is some type of open air.
Yes,
right?
yes. I want to tell both of you guys.
And in fact, of course, the use of the word. In fact, not only the BBC refuses to call Hamas terrorists.
Yes, yes.
The BBC.
Brother Dimitri, Israel, Gaza, the Gaza Strip is labeled as the biggest open-air prison in the world. 25-mile by 5-mile region with 2 million people in it.
But in fact, I want to also remind you, probably know that in fact now they call Hamas terrorists.
Yes.
Hamas in the 80s was financially supported by Israel.
Israel, yes, sir.
Because they wanted to weaken Al-Fatah.
Yes.
They didn't want the Palestinians to have a leadership that looked credible to the Western powers. And so they intentionally supported Hamas because they wanted to portray Palestinians.
Raise your voice a little bit, Brother Dimitri.
They wanted the people to think Palestinians as terrorists you couldn't talk with, right? So
I want to give you guys this quick statistics so you can have a better idea. From 2008 till September 2023, 6,407 Palestinians were recorded killed, half of them from missile attacks, and related to 300 on the Israeli side that were killed. Out of 158,000 people that were injured from 2008, 153,000 were Palestinian injured.
of course.
So this is crazy numbers. Look, since 2014, Brother Dimitri, over 2,100 people died, mostly civilians. There's numbers between 95 to 99% civilians.
of course, right? And then they say, and then somebody say they want us, to be fair, there should be like two army in open
Yeah.
fight, on one side the Israeli army with the support, of course, of the US.
Yes.
On the other side, the Hamas.
With the rocks. Yeah. And look, since 2014, brother, 60,000 homes destroyed. Over 100,000 people homeless, brother.
But those things are well known. The point, but
Well
in fact, I want to tell you, in fact, if you, I'm Italian, and in Europe, I would say the majority of people are supporting, the Palestinians.
Yes, yes.
I mean, they recognize the rights and they see
Yeah.
Israeli as the occupying power.
I think, yeah.
My guess is also in the US opinion is changing.
Yes.
Now, when I see people reacting to news,
Yes.
it looks to me, even in the US, surprisingly, I think most Americans probably aware of the issue.
I agree with that sentiment. I think most civilians, most people recognize the truth. Because, Brother Dimitri, you can go lying and killing for so long. It's been over 75 years, brother.
Yes, but still it keeps going on as long as there are economic interests. Because,
Yes.
I mean, the US, who was, Nikki Haley said the other day, that the US needs Israel more than Israel needs the US.
Yes.
Because Israel, of course, is there aligned with the
Yeah.
interest of...
And I don't know if you've seen this, Biden in the 90s or 80s, he said, if there were no Israel, we would have to make one.
Yeah, of course. Israel is useful, yeah.
Yes, very useful for the US.
But anyway, what I cannot see, I try to be fair, but from the point of view of Israel, they claim to be a democracy, right?
Yes.
And still they keep 2 million Arab Israeli, right? As
Yeah.
second-class citizens.
Yes.
And they including the territory that they want to rule, 5 million Palestinians with no rights. So, I don't see...
What kind of democracy is that?
But other than that, what is their goal? What do they plan to do? Because they keep eroding the land.
Yes.
And eventually, what do you want to do with these people? I don't
and
see
and it's interesting because the victims became the perpetrators. This is a one-sided conflict. This is a genocide similar, if not worse than the Holocaust.
But by the way, many people in Israel see this way. These days, the Palestinian newspapers are attacking Netanyahu. Many of them see. There are a significant portion of population in Israel.
Yes, the Israeli newspaper, you mean?
Israelis and Israeli newspapers,
yes,
they are well aware of the situation.
Yes.
But at the moment, still the majority is supporting this type of right-wing government.
Yes, and so
I do not see a solution.
I'll give you the solution, brother. We're giving the example of what's going on to the example of someone that comes into your house, puts you in the basement, locks you, lives in your house for 80 years, and then eventually you come out and you burn the house down. Who's in the wrong?
No, but this point, of course. Of course, it's easy to say who.
Of course. Who has the rights?
Each other to blame. Also from the Israeli side, they say, okay, people that are born there now. At the point there are a lot of millions Israeli there. Israelis will not go away. They're also more powerful, right? What is a reasonable solution?
Yeah.
And I think there will be never a solution until the US decides to take a stand, because Israeli will not be able to be what it is without US support. So
of course,
until the US do not decide to take a stand and say you need to stop building settlements, and they've been building, I don't know, they build 5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They build
last year alone, right?
Yeah, they build or they don't build with or without the USA. Their goal, Brother Dimitri, is they slowly want zero Palestinians.
Yeah, but the Palestinians, they've been eroding what they call the West Bank, right? And at the moment there are all these, they call islands, they call them islands. There are 20, 30 islands of Palestinians living in very crowded area. What do they expect? This is, I think, an apartheid state.
Of course, this is an apartheid state.
But the point,
and listen, Brother Dimitri, I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your truth. You're one of the strongest people I've spoken to today, and you speak truth when you know truth. And so I would like, what do you have to say, brother, to people, young students like the people here? What do you have to say to them? How can they inform themselves?
The information is widely available. By the way, I repeat, Israeli newspapers there are Haaretz, there are Israeli newspaper affair. There is also a very famous. There are a lot of people, even in Israel, who are very fair about presenting. This information.
And there are Jews, that are pro-Palestine.
Of course.
We have to separate, even for the viewers, we have to separate between Jewish people and Zionists. We have no issue with the Jewish people. The Jewish people, even under the Islamic world for around 1300 years, the Jews and Muslims they coexisted peacefully. Look at Andalusia, over 800 years. The Jews, they said, even their own historians, they say, we haven't lived somewhere better than the Muslim state. And we have to separate between that and the Zionists. The Zionists are the people that say that the Jewish people have a right to return to this land. And we say, as the sound-minded people, how do you have a right to a land which the land is not yours in the beginning? How does Britain allow the Jewish people to return to a promised land, the Palestinian land, when the land is owned by the Palestinians? Yeah.
Right.
You know?
But anyway, I would say that even most of the Jews are probably, I mean, most of the Jews do not share the views of the current government in Israel, right? I mean, I have colleagues,
a lot of them, yes.
I colleagues, people I know, that in fact, being Jews, they refuse to go to Israel because of what Israel is.
Yeah, a lot of Orthodox Jews, they don't agree with, because in the Orthodox belief, they believe that only the Messiah can bring them back to the Promised Land. They don't think it can be brought back with a democracy,
Yeah, but I mean, the situation now will be bad for everyone. I mean, at the moment, it is, of course, there will be, probably in Europe, people will attack innocent Jews for no reason at all, right? This is what's going to happen. And that will play the game of Netanyahu that wants to show like there is a fight between,
that is justified.
That people are against. No, there's nothing to do with Jews. This has to do with the current policies of Israel, which, by the way, damage the Israelis.
Of course, I mean, they've been trying to get Netanyahu out of office for a while now. They don't want him in. And the thing is, the Palestinian people, you have to understand, we all seen the pictures of the people with the big guns on the Israeli side and the little kid with the rock. We've seen these photos. The Palestinians are landlocked. The food, the imports and the exports, and the electricity and the water, everything is controlled by Israel. The water, 80% of the water is contaminated. It's not drinkable.
In fact, UN declared Gaza to be unlivable.
Unlivable, yes, exactly, yes.
I don't, but now the latest news is the Israeli ordered Palestinians, 1 million people, to evacuate Gaza in 24 hours.
Yes, the northern bar, yes.
Which is impossible.
Impossible.
And where they're supposed to go?
Where are they going to go? The sea's locked by the Navy. I mean, the land is locked by the surrounding countries.
Push them into the Sinai, right? I mean, they want to create maybe a camp there outside their territory, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we
know what the solution should be, but we also know that this solution will not be applied now.
But the thing is, we know that people by international law are allowed and they have the right to defend themselves and their land. And so we cannot forget that the Palestinians still have a voice. They still have a right to the land. We can't forget that. So when people come out and the Palestinians people, the news tries to portray it as Israel versus terrorist group Hamas. No, it's Israel, IDF versus the Palestinian people. Anyone will tell you in Palestine that, no, I'm fighting for my land. I'm fighting for my right to live, for my kids. We've seen all the videos. The thing is, Dimitri, the world is confused when we read history and we see what the Nazis did. We say, how can the people do that? How can they gas Jews? How can they kill them like that? Are they not human? We see it today, how they did it. Now we see people that they're saying, like for Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson the other day, he said, give them hell, Netanyahu. He said, give them hell, even though he knows 95% of people that die are civilian people. And Ben Shapiro, he said, these people, the politician, he said, we're fighting, and we're not fighting humans, we're fighting animals. They're animals.
But anyway, the point
the point is they're dehumanizing the Palestinian.
But I mean, of course, there are extremists on both sides. The point, besides the extremists being there on both sides, there is, we all know,
it's obviously lopsided.
There is, but also, I mean, the rules that you're claiming about fairness, right? About the right to land. They're the one that they used to support Ukraine, right?
Yes.
And now they say that Ukraine is like Israel. No, Ukraine is like Palestine.
Yes.
I mean, this is what I'm going to.
It's hypocrisy.
They want to say, like Ukraine is defending itself, so the Palestinians should be, right?
Yes.
Because the Palestinians are the ones that are occupied by.
And the other day, I think one of the UN members said that anyone that cuts off electricity and water and food is committing war crimes, and she said some bad word, and she was speaking about what Russia was doing to Ukraine. Yeah. And now how can you
can take exactly the same word
and put it to Israel?
But they don't. So,
it's hypocrisy. Yeah.
We know. I mean, we can be angry as much as angry, but unfortunately.
Yeah, and the best thing to do is to advocate and to speak to brothers like yourselves and to inform the people. Because, brother Dimitri,
the people, but at the same time, I think it's important because while you feel angry, and I do, right? I felt angry. So one should keep, in a way, some type of. Detachment, to communicate, because it's easy to be angry. Right?
Yes.
But
you need to speak logically, coherently. Yes.
You cannot, oppose anger to anger because, of course, at the moment in Israel there is anger, right? People have been killed, but at the same time, many of them realize, whoa, what's going on there. But the politicians will be able now to push, right?
Yes.
The majority of Israeli to see this as some sort of fight for their existence, denying once more, right?
Yes.
So, yeah.
You know, this is good, and I agree that we cannot fight back with only anger. I think people should keep a level of emotion, so it shows that people care about the situation. But we must be able to talk coherently. We must know our facts. We must know the statistics, so we can show why one side is genociding and ethnically cleansing the other side. And there's so many books written by even Jewish historians.
Yeah.
Ilan Pappé, he wrote the famous book, The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine. These are Jewish historians. People know the truth, and it's only a matter of time. Look, 75 years ago, the state of Israel was born. Social media was created 10 years ago, and now it's blowing everything out of proportion. And social media is exposing the truth. We are not controlled by the CNNs or the BBCs anymore. We have people on the ground showing what's happening.
By the way, the other point that I would like to make is that they claim now that, you know, if you want to fight for your rights, you should not use terrorism, right?
Yeah.
And still, you go back in the 40s when Israeli, before it was born,
Yes.
the
Haganah.
Israeli militia. At
Yes.
the time was not an army. They
Yes.
would use terrorists to bomb.
Yeah. The King David Hotel.
Exactly. This.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, it is an asymmetric war. What
Yes.
can these people do? I mean, I disapprove, right? I'm totally opposed
Of all
to-
civilian deaths.
I'm disapprove to do that, but
Yes.
yeah. So
And I agree, and like how you pointed out, the first prime minister of Israel was the leader of a terrorist group. And we're not saying terrorist group, not the Arabs that are labeled, or the Muslims that are labeling them as terrorists. The British labeled them as terrorists. Because this group, the Haganah, they attacked the King David Hotel, which had civilians killed, British members of the government killed. And then after that happened, they put these people, the leader of this group, as the puppet, as the government in the country. So it's full circle. The victim has now become the perpetrator, and we need to advocate and we need to inform the people about what's going on. And people like yourself, you have courage to say the truth, and I applaud that, brother.
The point is, one should face, you know, Israeli with you know what you plan to do with the 5 million people living next to you.
Yes.
So
And to all the people that say that on the Israeli side, we're fighting animals, we're fighting terrorists, they killed civilians. We say, we don't agree with killing of civilians, but do you condemn the killing of 96% of people that are civilians in Palestine? Do you condemn them? Do you condemn them, Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, all the news stations? Do you condemn them, or do you not? Or do you like how they die?
what the government does whenever they kill civilians, they say we're going to open an inquiry.
Yeah.
This is what-
Or they say that no. The Hamas, they're using body shields. They're using them as shields, as human shields.
But anyway, so of course, you know.
So you agree that people for the most part, they know the truth. They know what's going on.
I'm sure people do, but I mean,
Come close.
people will, of course, disagree, right, with killings of civilians.
Yes. I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
I mean, but the same, everything you would say now about Hamas, you can equally say about
The government, Israeli government.
Israeli
Government.
military government been doing.
The IDF, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, they've been falsely propagating crazy propaganda. One of the crazy things that recently came out was that the Palestinian forces beheaded 40 babies.
Which was never verified.
Never verified. And what's crazy is that not only was it not verified, the US president reiterated it and said that I seen the photos, and he was exposed that
It's not true.
Not true at all. Not true at all.
Yeah.
Yes. And not only that, there was another source that said that this Israeli German citizen was raped and brutally killed and so on and so forth. And turns out that no, that she was in the photo, she was injured, and the Palestinian forces took her to the hospital. Actually, so we have to dive deep when we see these issues.
Of course, now they're preparing the public opinion to the horror that will happen in the next.
Yes, exactly. It's a clear tactic book.
They want to make them acceptable. So.
Yes, it's a clear tactic book, brother. What you do first, before you genocide, you dehumanize, right? And now we see even Ben Shapiro yesterday, he said, I have no regard for the civilians, let them die, no problem. You know what I mean? We're fighting animals, they say.
But these people were like this before this episode, so they went there with this plan. So.
Yeah, subhanallah. And you know the thing is,
you know that when there was this issue in the news also that at Harvard, right, many student organizations issue some type of public condemnation
yeah,
of this episode. and now the university or the sponsors they want to prosecute them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in France today they prohibited any
Public protest.
Public protest. In
Yeah.
support of Palestine.
Yeah,
So
I mean, France, they've been having a track record of Islamophobia, and they're against like these. They ban the hijab, the abaya. You know, this is expected from
But it is also a country with a lot of
Muslims.
Islamic population.
Yes, that is true.
But all over Europe, there have been huge
Protests
show support for.
everywhere, all over the Arab world as well. Even in America, New York, they had a huge
They
protest.
don't report much about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
If you look at the news, they only report about what.
Yeah.
They only show about. Yeah, I mean, of course, support for Israel, which is right. I mean, yeah. So
I mean, it's not right to support a oppressor. No, it's right to condemn civilian deaths. Yes.
right, because
Yes.
I mean, I think that the policies of Israel have been damaging for the Israelis, and
Yes.
many Israelis agree with that. That what
Yeah.
they've been doing is been to their own detriment.
Yeah. And how can any sound-minded person see this issue and say, yeah, they deserve it? Like only a person with evil in his heart say these kids. I mean, they say 95, brother Dimitri. They say 95 to 99% of people killed in Palestine they're civilians. Imagine the highest densely populated.
Because it is not. This country is not a proper country.
It's a 2 million people in a 25 by 5 mile radius. Of course, if you're dropping bombs, of course, 90% and plus is going to be civilians. What do you think? And the thing is, people think that they don't know that they're killing civilians. No, that's quite exact the opposite. They know they're killing civilians, and this is a tactic, and they use Hamas as a scapegoat. You know what I mean? So they can slowly.
In fact, Hamas was supported in the 80s exactly with this intent to use to support extremists because they would
As an excuse to attack.
It would be impossible to make a deal with them, right?
Yes.
So you see, it's impossible to deal with them because they're extremists.
Yes.
That has been the plan at the time.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I need to go, but
I appreciate your time, bro.
Unfortunately, being angry doesn't help.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have emotion, but you need facts.
Yeah, but the fact, I think, you need to try to see things from the other side as well. Why are Israeli like this? Why still most of the Israeli support? So this is something that one should try to understand why most Israeli support a type of government like this one.
Yeah, of course we should understand everyone, and once we understand everyone, we clearly see who's in the right and who's in the wrong, and we advocate for that.
Yeah, but you see, both of them can be in the right.
How?
Dimitri, partially in the right.
Yeah, don't backtrack now. We agree. No, we agree. The people in the government, we agree that they some of them could be confused, some of them don't know, but we're talking about the government themselves.
So no, the point is actually, as it is now, and this is what been historically, they trying to push, the situation on the land. Like, of course, now there are millions of Israelis living there, right? And millions of Palestinians who've been displaced. They cannot both get the same land, right? I mean, there should be an arrangement, right?
And the thing is, people say that the Israeli government must bomb because they need to fight the terrorists. We say no. If you know 95% of the people are civilians that are dying, no, don't drop bombs. Be men and fight on the floor. Go on the ground and fight the soldiers. Don't drop bombs on civilians. Don't drop bombs on hospitals and mosques and churches. And even it's not only a Muslim centered issue. Even the Christians, brother Dimitri, I don't know if you've seen this. Even the Christians in Israel, when they walk past the Jewish people there, they spit on them. Yeah, have you seen the videos?
I've seen,
Brother Dimitri, we have to call a spade a spade. What's going on is illegal, condemned by the UN, by most organizations, and we have to say what the truth is. That it's a one-sided conflict. One side is supported by the world powers, and they have billions of dollars in guns and tanks and bombs, and the other side is not supported by any other country, and they're a group of civilians, mostly non-militant, that are being killed every day. So we have to call a spade and say the truth.
Yeah, we do, but I mean, I understand, but being right or wrong only counts so much. So the point is, at the moment,
what's the solution? Yes.
No, the point is, what's the power around? So US will support Israel for strategic reasons.
Yeah.
I think that another role, I mean, of course, until US doesn't change their position, things will not change on the land.
Yeah.
And on the other side, there are also, of course, power of Islamic State. Saudi Arabia, the first, that should also have a position which is practical, right?
Yeah. We hope so.
How are they going to pressure you know,
Yeah.
the
Even Qatar today they said that, or yeah, they said they threatened to cut off the gas to the world if they don't. So we
in the 70s, right? There was this famous
the oil embargo in the 70s. Yes, that happened, and that did influence a lot.
and an impact. In fact, it brought eventually to the peace accord of the 76, whatever. There was this agreement. Yeah.
We hope the Arab nations are strong enough to do that. We hope so. But the thing is that whether they are or not, we need the people to know what the truth is. We need the people to know the statistics. We need the people to know what's truly going on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today.
The war didn't start today, a mass attack.
Yeah. It's
because
been,
they want to show like you know, you can artificially set up a starting point, right?
Yeah.
This is what. Anyways,
Thank you so much for your time, Dimitri. As always. See you soon, bro. Have a good day. Sorry about that, bro.
All good.
What was your name again, Joe?
Brennan.
Brennan. So what do you think about what we just said?
I'm a little sickened, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of death, a lot of messed up stuff going on.
Yeah.
People are just allowing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. As you saw, bro, so many. The thing is, bro, one side is backed by world governments. They have billions of dollars. They have weapons that you couldn't imagine what they have. Guns and tanks and missiles and the other side is a nation that has had their land taken from them for about 80 years, and they've been slowly killed off. So we're here to inform the people about what's really happening.
What do you think the solution is?
The solution, brother, is like how I would tell you this. If I came and I stole your house, and I came and I locked you in the basement, and I lived there, and then you came out of the basement, what do you think the solution would be?
How nice was the basement?
It's not nice. You have no water, you have no electricity, you have no imports and exports, you can't make money, you can't do anything. You're being killed off slowly. Someone's cutting you with a knife every day.
I'm pretty mad. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, so that's the same thing that we say about the Palestinians. They have a right to defend their land.
Yeah.
They have a right to take their land back. And this is something clear as day, bro. Yeah, so do you have anything else you want to add?
Nah, man. The world
So you see,
in a dark place.
So you started, you didn't know nothing. And now what do you see? Who do you think is in the right? Who do you think is the perpetrator? Who do you think is the victim?
Based off what I've heard, Palestine is getting shit on for no reason.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Strong man. Not a lot of people would say that. I respect you.
Thank you.
Do some more research, bro, so you can know what else is going on.
I wish I could have said more, to be honest.
No, you're good, bro. Thank you so much. Have a good day, Brennan.